and welcome to part 3 of our Client Attraction No-No DM edition. Alright, so if you haven't caught the short parts 1 and 2, go ahead and do that. They're on this YouTube channel. And remember to subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications if you want to win an intuitive, holistic, out of this world, transformational, cutting edge, results focused business coaching / consulting / healing session. What do I mean by that? Erin, I don't need healing. I just want to grow my business, attract new dream clients and make more money, or work less and make the same amount or more money, or experience greater fulfillment and ease and joy with business and more fun in my life and business. You're still in the right place. You want this session. Trust me. All right. So, but if for some reason I'm mistaken and you don't want it, then you do you. All right. So onward. To wrap up with our good friend Ralph Bosman and what not to do and how to spot somebody who's doing what not to do, we're going to wrap up in this video. All right, so in part 1 we covered the first part of Ralph's message, and at the end of part 2 we started to cover the last part. So after he talks about working with his inner circle coaching clients, or students, on getting them back on track to get clients in these difficult times. And then I showed you in part 2 my profile, which clearly if he'd taken one iota of a second to look at, would have known he's barking up the wrong tree. He goes on to say, we actually bundled it in our new book that we launched after the summer. So what I started to say at the end of part 2 is, who the fuck is we? Which is one of my other Client Attraction No-Nos. If you followed me for the last few years of my Client Attraction No-No series, you should be able to find those on Facebook with hashtag Client Attraction No-Nos. All right, so he's now going on to reference we. Now, this is him trying to be a player, okay? But in a business way. He's trying to, once again, build authority as by implying that he's part of this company or organization or corporation, and he's him and his whole team, and they're so authoritative and blah blah blah-ish that they have a book and that it's new, and that they've bundled how to get clients into a book that they launched after the summer. So he waits till now when it's December, of course, because I'm assuming he means summer in the Northern Hemisphere. I work with people from the Northern and Southern Hemisphere from worldwide. And he says after the summer. So I'm assuming he's a Northern Hemisphere like I am. And he waits till December. So anyway, he goes on to say the book is free and I thought it may help you. Ding, 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 ding. We have a red flag. Alert, alert, alert. Danger, Will Robinson. If the red flags hadn't hit you upside the head, both intuitively and or practically and logistically and logically, even if you're a left brainer by now, that should have been ringing the alarm bells if he sent you this message. So, how it may help you. Like, he's going to lower himself like Mother Teresa style to help little old me. Now, he may not have meant it that way in a condescending, patronizing way, but that's the way it's being read and perceived at this moment in time. So he says, see it as my peace offering, haha. Now, why would he need to make a peace offering, mind you? Well, I redirect you back to what we covered in part 1 of this series of short videos, which is where he said, pardon my absence, which at first I found hilarious in its absurdity. And had quite a good time pointing out to you and sharing with you in part 1. So, and about how he's sorry about not, making a point to get to know each other, blah, 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 right? So now instead of trying to get to know me after he's just apologized for not making a point to get to know each other, now instead of offering to get to know me, he just wants to tell me about his new book that we, whoever the fuck we is, launched after the summer, and that it's free and that it may help you. Well, Erin, but it's free. Is that such a client attraction? No, if it's free. Yes, motherfuckers, yes. I kid, but you get it. It's not whether it was free or paid that's the problem here, you guys. It's the methodology to him sliding into people's DMs like this and what not to do if it's you, and how to spot people who are doing this stuff too and avoid them like the plague. I mean coronavirus, I mean plague. Okay? So, he goes on to say it's free, I thought it may help you. Completely insulting if he had even bothered to take one iota of a second to read my profile. Okay? But it's not just that it's insulting, it's that he didn't, even after making a point of saying, sorry, I didn't get to know each other, make an effort, blah, 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 that he could have at least made it, attempted to make a go at it by looking at my profile, and he would have saved us both this time and energy. Of course, it wouldn't be benefiting you via these videos of me griping and transmuting it into something that can benefit you. But that is not the point. That is besides the point, right? And then see it as my peace offering. In other words, for him not making a point to connect with me and get to know me this whole time, which he still isn't getting to know me, as evidenced by his own words and my profile, as I showed you as Exhibit A in video part 2 or part 2. So let me know if it will help you, and I'll send you the download link. Well, that's a call to action. I teach, inviting people, your peeps, to take the next step with you via a CTA or a call to action. Okay, so Erin, is there anything he did wrong by including a call to action, especially if you teach that? Yes, motherfucker, yes. Again, I kid, but the point is, hell yes, there's something wrong with this. Okay, yes, he did it with a soft touch. All right. He was, like I said in the first video, he's the latest iteration of the used car salesperson. He's not the direct, obnoxious, beat you over the head type, but he's still committing it. And I almost would prefer the old school, obnoxious, direct, beat you over the head with it types, because they're not trying to hide it. It's kind of how I prefer my racists. Like, I don't prefer racists of any sort, but at least with the old racists, they were quite clear in their racism. There was no secrets, there was no hiding it, there was no trying to disguise it or deflect from it. It was open, they were honest about it, right? This is like this sneaky, insidious stuff that is huge hashtag client repellent instead of client attracting, okay? I teach client attraction, not client repelling. So I'm showing you what not to do and what to do instead. So, is a CTA something to do? Yes, but not in the way he's doing it. Okay? Again, I did not reach out to him. He initiated this fake contact with this pretense of how he's sorry he didn't make an effort to get to know me. It's been a busy year, blah, blah. But now we've got a brand new book, and he thinks it might help me, a client attraction specialist, which you know if I can look at my profile. Fuck's sake. Anyway. So, then he says, regardless, in all seriousness, I wish you well and hope you kick ass in 2021, Ralph. Okay, in all seriousness, as if he wasn't being serious because he did the ha-ha after his peace offering after trying to be silly. But it was all fake, pretentious, what's the word when you like orchestrate and choreograph something like that's pretentious? Whatever the word is, let me know in the comments because it's escaping my mind at the moment. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Like contrived, I think that's the word. It's like this contrived, secret, insidious way of trying to act with, this is his version of a soft touch. But it's still the old school toxic masculinity, not to be confused with divine masculine, which I welcome, and I work with men and women. Okay? I'm all for the divine masculine in business, in life, in relationships. Okay? This is an example of toxic masculine. It's just the latest iteration where he's trying to use more of a soft touch, but it's so contrived and pretentious that anyone who's honed in the skill, whether you consider yourself a left brainer or an intuitive, of smelling bullshit from a mile away, would be like, the nerve of this motherfucker, right? On one hand, you kind of want to give him props because of the cojones it took to even attempt this pretension. It's so insulting and obnoxious and absurd. And on the other hand, you just want to like grab him by the shoulders and fucking shake him. Like, you motherfucker, how dare you insult my intelligence and waste my motherfucking time. But if you're me, you take it and you transmute it into something like this that I can make into a free gift for you via my YouTube channel to benefit you. All right. So that's it. So don't be like Ralph is the moral of this holiday tale. All right. Yes, he could be quote unquote worse. I've received way worse than this. At least he went a soft touch about it. It's the pretentiousness, the insidiousness, the insincerity, the inauthenticity, the bullshittiness, the still toxic masculinity of it. And he could have been a woman in my inbox doing the same thing, and it still would have been expressing toxic masculinity, just like my aforementioned scenario of women in corporate in America in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, etc., who had to take on the toxic masculine traits of the patriarchy in order to get promoted and get ahead. Even if you look to comedy, I also coach comedians and comics and work with entertainers. If that's you, if you're an aspiring or current comic, look at the women of the 70s and 80s and 90s of stand-up comedy. Yes, some of them happened to be lesbians and would have been either way, but there was a way that even the straight female comics came across like men in style, in demeanor, in the way they told their jokes, in their voices, because that was what it took by our patriarchy and toxic masculinity to get accepted into the old school boys club of comedy, right? But this is across all industries. Thank fuck it's changing. But reminder, as conscious and spiritual and sacred activists and entrepreneurs, change doesn't just happen because we wished for it or sat on a rainbow meditating under a tree with unicorns farting rainbows and Skittles, okay? Yeah, I'm all for love and light, but I'm also not about spiritual bypassing or emotional bypassing. I keep it real here, okay? And the realness here is that sometimes it's not just light and rainbows and love. Sometimes it's calling shit out like it is. It's shining light on the darkness. That's how you illuminate it. That's how you bring in the conscious awareness. You call the shit out and then you demand change in healthy ways that will actually be more likely to net you the result you desire, right? You want to use your activism wisely and thoughtfully and conscientiously so that it's more likely to create the change that you want to see. So we want to be the change, and we want to call for the change, and we want to demand it in ethical ways, of course. All right? We want to be good trouble. Yeah? If you're with me, let me know in the comments. So, my point is, don't go old school boys club marketing, even if it's the latest iteration soft touch like Ralph did. Don't be like Ralph, okay? Be like you in business. Yes, sometimes, in some cases, if it feels aligned and inspired and you're guided to connect with somebody from your heart to theirs and truly get to know them, not just sell to them, not see them as a dollar sign, a body with a dollar sign for a head, or whatever the currency in your country is, sign here on their head. And yes, there's nothing wrong with wanting to make business connections and even sales and money for people you're here to serve, who it would be a disservice to not invite them if it's in a relevant context and not like the way Ralph has done. Okay? So moral of the story, don't be like Ralph. You get to be you in your business and do it your way, following your core values, including integrity, in a divine feminine-led way where it's heart-centered and spirit-led and flow-led and in alignment with your core values, where you're truly connecting with people, okay, from your heart to theirs, and not with some pretentious fake bullshit act. Yeah? You dig? All right. Want to become a client magnet? QuantumLeapYourBizNow.com for a freebie that will help you become a client magnet with ease and joy and speed. Ready to quantum leap your biz? Apply for one of my exclusive free sessions valued at $555 at bit.ly/quantumleapyourbiz app. Look for the link in the description of this video series. And like and follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/quantumleapyourbiz for holistic biz and client attraction tips, and for free. It's a gift from my heart to yours. And if you want to win that session with me, like and follow, subscribe to this YouTube channel, hit the bell, make sure your account is publicly visible so that if you're the winner, I can contact you if you win when I reach 100 subscribers. And until next time, remember, you're infinitely powerful and your success is inevitable. This has been Erin Lloyd from at Quantum Leap Your Biz. Bye for now.